Last time we made a good start to our Football League career, but we didn't make it through the first round of the Caribou Cup. Question is, how have we done since then? Today we face another tough task with one of the two sides that still has a 100% record. Hello, and it's a very warm welcome to episode 64 of Bottom to the Top as we try and take a National League South side, in this case Weymouth, from the bottom all the way up to the top. And this is our journey. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you, as always, two games. First up, Wigan Athletic in League 2 match day 4, and then match day 5 is against AFC Wimbledon. Both of them are at home. We seem to have a little run of home games now for a little while. So that's probably not a bad thing, because we seem to be struggling a little bit away from home, losing to Lincoln and another of our matches. But we'll come to that in just a moment, because I think we need to bring you up to date with the transfer news first, because otherwise you might see some names there and you wonder where they've popped up from. So we'll come to those in just a moment. But don't forget, if you do enjoy today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the series so far, and also just anything really. I'd like to thank all those people who have subscribed, and also to those who leave me comments. I will try and answer as many of the comments as I can, as soon as I can, obviously permitting with everything else that is going on as well. But thank you very much for that, and don't forget, you can follow everything that's going on in this channel, new episodes of this and other series and new series and all the rest of it, by following me on X at JustOffsideFM. Right, let's get into it. We've got plenty to be getting on with. And first up, as I said, we will have a quick look at the transfers to see what's been going on since you were last with us. You'll see there is a bit of activity still going on. Ronnie Hollingshead was the last in before you in the last episode. We have brought in Charlie Stevens, who was on loan with us last year. He's on loan with us again this year from Bournemouth. His compatriot Patterson didn't want to come to us. He's gone elsewhere, I believe. So he's decided not to come. So we've not been able to bring him along, unfortunately, not at this point in time anyway. So Charlie Stevens needed to shore up midfield a little bit. We also need a right-sided defender as well. We'll come to that in a moment. But yeah, Charlie Stevens can play in any of those three midfield roles, either as attacking midfielder behind the front two, as a forward midfielder, or as a defensive midfielder. So he will get utilised in any one of those three spaces, basically. And he's with us for the rest of the season, instead of bringing him in like we did last season, just to shore up at a certain point in time. The other person that we have just brought in, literally come in today, you'll see 21st of August. We have just over a week to go on the transfer market. Ronan Darcy's been on trial with us. He is an attacking midfielder and also can play in that midfield role, which is possibly where he will get his first outing. Yeah, he's reasonably good. 26 years old. He's come in. He's been released by Crawley Town. He's been okay, but we obviously want to see a bit more from him. Played League 2 football for a few seasons, so he's in his right area here. So hopefully he can do something and yeah, give us a little bit of magic in that midfield. Nobody else going out since you were last with us, so Conal Palfrey was the last one out. As you'll see, we do have a few irons in the fire. Akil Wright can also play central defence, but play through that middle bit as well, defensive midfielder or a central midfielder, which, as I said, we need to bulk up. Zane Silcott Dewberry is a player that we've been looking at. We are looking to try and bring him in on loan from Bournemouth. Can play down either side of the park, can play as an attacking midfielder as well. But I think we'll probably be using him somewhere can also play midfield. So he's quite versatile, really. The only two places he can't play, defensive midfield and central defence, and a striker. So he's a versatile thing. And the other final loan that we're looking to bring in at the moment is a left-sided defender, just because with Linton out, it's only Candlish really that can play in that position. So Martin Robinson from Millwall is one that we're looking at. I've had a number of tries at various players that have dropped through. So not having much luck as it currently stands with that. So we've been struggling to get those players in. So a couple of loan players there that we need to bring in. So that's what we are doing at the moment. Since you were last with us, we've played 2 games. Shrewsbury at home, and we won this one by 2-1. It was looking as if we were going to win it 2-0, but couldn't keep a clean sheet. 13 shots, 6 on target, 2 on the old XG, 52% of the possession. Shrewsbury had 7 shots, 4 on target, 1.27 and 48% of the possession. Gloria Nzingo opened the scoring on 47 minutes. Ball forward to Morris, but it was a poor ball, and Braley picked it up. James to Nzingo. Nzingo on his own, and Nzingo doing what Nzingo likes to do. I think that may well have been his first goal of the season. But gave us a lead after 47 minutes early in the second half, after being 0-0 at half time. And then just literally 5 minutes later, Ethan Braley, who'd won that ball in midfield, got us a second. Braley through to Jones. Braley's on the run, as you'll see at the bottom of the picture here. Jones holds up, and Braley into space. Nobody marking him at all. Manages to put that in the back of the net. 2-0 after 52. And it was a late goal after 83 that just got us a little bit worried towards the end. Chris Manning getting a consolation goal for Shrewsbury. Shipley on that far side crosses this ball in, and it's headed out. Bloxham crosses it back into the middle, and Manning, unmarked, puts it away. 2-1 the final score, and that meant that we'd won both our 2 opening games. Could we make it 3? No. A very tight match against Accrington Stanley. They are up near the top of the table, but we couldn't get past them. And a bit disappointed in this one. They had 5 shots, 4 of which were on target, 1.21 and 59% of the possession. We had 6 shots, 3 of which were on target. Okay, we've hit our 50%, 0.88. So we weren't clinical with those shots. And 41% of the possession seemed to be misfiring. I think I have a reason for that. We'll come to that in just a moment. It was a bit of an ill-tempered thing, as you will see. But it was Dylan Reid on 19 minutes that scored from the penalty spot. Reid putting it away after a push, which gave them the penalty. They couldn't score from open play. But we really just didn't have enough, and not enough impetus off the bench as well. Seemed to be lacking that bring a player on and turn it around like we have done before, and that was rather annoying. So 1-1, lost 1, and as I say, away form a little bit iffy. I know we beat Forest Green on the opening day, but I'm not sure how much of that was exuberance anyway. So it's probably just as well that we are at home for these 2 games, albeit Wigan, as I said, haven't lost yet in the league. So we've got a job to do today. As it looks after 3 games, then Morecambe and Wigan are the 2 sides with 100% records. Accrington Stanley haven't lost yet. They've won 2 and drawn 1 with 7 points. We're in 4th on 6 points, along with Tranmere and Gillingham, we're just ahead of them on goal difference. Grimsby Town making up the last playoff place at the moment on 5 points. Also a couple of others, Wimbledon, our second opponents today, and Cheltenham also on 5 points. And the 2 teams that are not doing particularly well at the moment, Northampton and Swindon, both yet to get off the mark at the bottom of the table. So there you go. That's how it looks so far. I think I brought you pretty much up to date. Let's go and have a look at the side that will face Wigan. And here is the side that faces Wigan in this match day 4 of the new season in the Sky Bet League 2. And yeah, a little bit of a tougher task for us. Hollingshead continues in goal, although he hasn't been performing well. And I'm not sure. I suppose he did play reasonably well last time. It was, albeit only got a 6.4. They didn't score. And I don't know how much of that is because of the defence or what. I don't know. But yeah, he may get replaced by Brad House if he's not careful. Olsen is playing out on the right today. Holman picked up an injury, but he's ahead of our Holman and Prescott today. So Olsen on the right, Armitage, Grante in that central defence. Candlish continues on the left due to the injury to Linton. We didn't look at the injuries, did we? Darcy makes his debut in midfield. Stevens, who came in, you haven't seen him since, well, you may have seen him last season, but you haven't seen him this season. He's playing as the deep-lying playmaker in defence today. Braley plays on the right of the midfield three, and Zingo is the attacking playmaker. We can turn him to attack, because I think, or do we leave him as a support and maybe put Braley to attack? No, maybe not. We'll check that one out in a minute. Fletcher and Jones continue up front, albeit neither of them have been firing on all cylinders up until now. I might actually just swap them over today and just see what happens. Yeah, they've not been firing on all cylinders either. Brad House, Holman, Gasper, Ransom, Abdul Malik, Cooper and Peters make up the bench. And here we are at the Bob Lucas, playing our usual formation. Slightly different, just a tweak on it this time. Wigan are playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. Stuart Duff is their manager. They are currently second on 9 points. We are fourth on 6 points. And the other thing I was going to say was, with lots of changes again this summer, we need time to settle down. Settle down into our groove. Braley, 11 minutes on the clock. It's headed in, but it's just over the top. Hollingshead with a goal kick to Olsen. Olsen comes forward. Wigan player running back, and he's given that away to Coles. I mean, that was pretty poor. Olsen really can come running all the way back. Sayers with the ball. Back to Hilton in the Wigan goal. 24 minutes on the clock. That's a long one and nobody there. Armitage didn't need to head that. Where he headed it. Why did he do that? And that one's flicked over the top and he's gone past. Price has headed past Hollingshead, and that was all because Armitage launched that ball when he had two other players around him. All he had to do was control the ball and control the thing. He headed it away. Why he headed it away, I don't know. Price over the top. Question whether he was offside, I feel sure. Yeah. Let's... Allen is definitely offside. I think they're saying that he's not. Being kept onside, possibly by Garante out there. When that ball's launched, and it was a perfect header. They have a free kick. Dow with a free kick. It's gone direct, and it's gone over the top. Ball forward, a poor ball again from Olsen. He's not having a good day in that right back position. Ball given away, and they are on the attack again. Don't forget they had a 100% record coming into this game. It's crossed in, and Price flicks that one over the top. Alarm bells ringing here. And we could be at least 3 behind at this point in time. I need to hit our rhythm. 42 on the clock. Olsen again on this near side. He's not been doing very much at all, and he's got Cole in attendance. He's lost that ball again. Right, we might need to do a change there. And Armitage picks that ball up. Stevens to Nzingo. Nzingo now on this side. That's a bit better. Inside to Fletcher, who's given the ball away to De Jong. Long ball launched. Headed down. Stevens, that was. Darcy. Olsen again. Oh, man. Allen. And he's tackled by Stevens. Just put him off at the moment. He's still got the cross in. And damn you. Humphreys gets in, and it is 2-0 on 44. And I question Hollingshead. To be honest, he came for it and was in no man's land. He's gone for it. Not anywhere near it. And half-time. Well, this League Two lark's not going to be easy, I don't think. Is it 5 shots, 3 on target, 0.60 for Wigan? The only thing that we've had is more of the possession. We've had 3 shots, just the 1 on target. Again, this is the problem. 0.24 and 60% of the possession. I need to find something in the second half. We're 2 goals behind. And we've made 1 change at half-time. Cam Cooper comes on for James Jones. James Jones continues. He's extremely poor run of form, and I don't know how we're going to fix him. And I think that's half the problem is Fletcher and Jones up front. Just not firing all cylinders. I mean, they should be putting goals away left, right and centre, but they're not. First highlight in the second half. Darcy with a free kick. 57 on the clock. Darcy goes direct, and it's gone for a corner. Was on target, saved by the goalkeeper, Braley. It's going to be a short corner. He's got Darcy in attendance. Darcy's brought down, and it's a corner. And with 65 minutes on the clock, or very nearly, we're making another 2 changes. Charlie Olsen, he's off, and we've brought on Jack Holman on that right-hand side. And the other change that we've made is we have brought on Amika Peters for Luca Fletcher, and he goes left. Cooper moving to the right. And with 77 minutes on the clock, making a final 2 changes. We've taken off Charlie Stevens. We brought on Harry Ransom in that D-line playmaker role. In fact, we'll probably switch him to a half-back or even an anchor, come to that. I think he prefers to play in one of those 2 roles. The other change that we've managed to drop Nzingo into midfield alongside Darcy. Taken off Ethan Braley. And we've brought on Abdul Malik, who's dropped in behind Peters and Cooper up front as we go in search of at least 1 goal. Got 15 minutes to try and get 2. And a 2-0 win at home at the Bob Lucas. And a slide down the table is inevitable at the rate we're going. 8 shots, just 2 on target. We're not firing on all cylinders. 0.61 on the old XG. 66% of the possession. We should have had this. But once they'd scored the second goal, they just shut up shop. 8 shots, 5 on target, 0.75 and 34% of the possession. Darren Allen getting a player of the match, 1 key chance, 1 clear-cut chance, 1 key pass, 1 assist. It's not been our best day. And again, Hollingshead definitely needs to be dropped, I think. We're not looking good, are we? I think our days in League Two could be well numbered if we carry on this run of form. And a full programme, of course, today is how we have ended up. We've slipped down the table. We'll come to that in just a moment. Wigan, by beating us, have won 4 games. They are the only team with a 100% record now. Accrington Stanley in second place, having beaten Crewe by 2-1 today. They are second on 10 points. Then come Gillingham, who are on third, having beaten also promoted Halifax Town 3-0. Halifax Town finding life in the Football League difficult as well. Morecambe, who had a 100% record, lost it to Grimsby today. An own goal, which was even more of annoyance to them, I feel sure. So that is where they are at. Wimbledon beating Wycombe by 2-1 in their game. Our second opponents of the episode. They move up into 6th place. So down the bottom, Swindon and Crewe both Northampton picking up a point, Swindon picking up a point. First points of the season gets them around and off the bottom of the table. Everybody has at least put 1 point on the table as it currently stands. So this is how the table looks at the end of this round of games. Wigan are top on 12 points, 4 straight wins. Accrington Stanley in second on 10 points. Then come Gillingham on 9 points, just ahead of Morecambe, also on 9, who on goal difference. And then come Grimsby Town and Wimbledon on 5th and 6th, again on goal difference. And then 3 teams on 7 points, Doncaster, Harrogate and Shrewsbury, all on 7 points. And then, as I said, down the bottom of the table, it's Crawley in 21st on 2 points. Northampton, Swindon and Crewe separated. I say separated on goal difference. They've all got the same goal difference. They are 22nd, 23rd and 24th. Respectively. Right, we have 7 days down to the game against Wimbledon. Hopefully we'll have some new recruits in. We need to gain a little bit of momentum, and we need to settle down and start to put some results together. That's what we need to do. Wimbledon next up then. We'll be back for that game. Well, you come back and join me ahead of the game against AFC Wimbledon at the Bob Lucas. We need to get back on to form if we can and get a result. But we have brought in a couple more players since you were last with us. Just quickly check. You were with us, of course. We brought Darcy in on the day of the last game and he made his debut. We've brought in Zane Silcott-Dewberry from Bournemouth. He's not 100% fit. He's coming back from injury. Can play down either side. Can also play as the attacking midfielder. So hopefully he gives us something. I'm not sure what, but I'm hoping he does. And we have brought in a left back as well as backup for Linton and Candlish, just to break it up a little bit. And he is Martin Robinson in on loan from Millwall for the rest of the season. So he'll just be there as a backup more than anything at all. And we've still got one more iron in the fire as it stands. Verrill George, he's a striker. Yep, you might think we need another. I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit because the striking force up front at the moment isn't doing it at all. Yeah. Right, let's go into today's game then. It's AFC Wimbledon, League 2, match day 5. And we need to get a result and start to bring our season back into clarity, as it were. I think it's because of all the new players in. We've unbalanced the team a little bit and they just need time to settle down. At least that's what I'm hoping. And today would be a good day to start it, I guess. And here we are for our second game of the episode. It's match day 5 against Wimbledon. And we have changed formation very, very slightly, as you will notice. House is in goal. I did say I was going to drop Hollingshead. I was in two minds whether to or not. But Hollingshead has picked up an injury in training, so he's going to be out for a couple of days. Which gives Brad House the chance, and it's his opportunity to go and prove himself. Whether he does or not, we will have to wait and see. Luke Campbell makes the bench today, first time this season. Our back line, a new boy, Martin Robinson in the left-hand side. Olsen, Armitage and Holman making up the rest of the back line. Actually, we need to do a little bit of jiggling here because we've jiggled around. He's preferred as a central defender, and it's Will Armitage who is preferred as the no-nonsense centre-back. As I say, Holman on the right. Gasper plays as the anchor behind Stevens and Braley in front of him. And then we're playing two wide players today. Peters is out on the left. Ronan Darcy is out on the right. And Jones gets one further chance up front as the attacker. And we'll see how he goes on. Luke Campbell, then, as I already mentioned, is on the bench. Candlish, Silcott-Dewberry, who's not 100% fit, can play 45 minutes, so we may see him in the second half. Jake Garante, Ransom, Abdul Malik, and Luca Fletcher make the bench. The rest are really not up to it. And here we are. We need to get back on track here at home. Playing this slightly different formation. They are playing a 4-2-3-1 today. Cisco Munoz is their manager. Wimbledon currently 6th on 8 points. We are 11th on 6 points. Robinson, Olsen, 11 minutes on the clock. Armitage to Braley. Braley out to Holman. Holman, we haven't seen him do this much. And cross it in. It's come back off the woodwork. And there's a penalty. And who's that down in the area there? A penalty's been given. And the ball was in. Jones. And it could be Jones that's down injured. He got this away, and goalkeeper deflected it onto the post, and then Kalimba Bai, and he's injured. No sign of him, and Peters is going to take the penalty. And he sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. And we go 1-up on 13 minutes. Lovely penalty. Bit more attacking intent that we saw there in that last highlight. But it's Wimbledon. And he picked up a yellow card for that. Kambabai. As we push them back a little bit. Turner Cook. I'm sure we've had in one of our saves. That's gone out wide to Dodson. I don't know who's supposed to be marking him, but he's not marking him. It's crossed deep, headed in, and it's gone over. Oh, it's come back. It's not cleared. I thought that had gone over, and it's still alive. It's gone out now for a goal kick. Ramsey will throw in on that far side to Duffy. Duffy to Sweet. And Braley stops that ball. Jones couldn't get away with it. It's not those touches and just not firing all cylinders over the top. Robinson! He's put it away and he's offside. It won't count. He was offside. He looked as if he might have been, but I wasn't too sure. We've been beaten like this before. Oh, yeah, there he goes. Just a 2 fraction. And arm goes up from Armitage. And half-time arrives. It's all, well, I say all square. It's not all square. Where we've got that lead at half-time, penalty spot. 13 minutes in from Mika Peters. 4 shots, just the 1 on target. 1.76. So we're definitely a little bit more dangerous than we were. 65% of the possession. They've had 3 shots, 1 on target, and 35% of the possession. We need to make that possession into shots on target and put them away. Robinson with a corner. It's swung in. It's headed clear. Stevens chucks it back in. But Oxenborough picks it up. Oxborough. And the highlight's going to continue. He drops that ball. Fires it long. Olsen is underneath it, but heads it straight into the path of Turner Cook. Dario crosses this deep, looking for Robinson. It's over the top, though. House saw it over. And with 17 minutes on the clock, we're making 2 changes. One is an enforced change. Holman has picked up a thigh injury, so he's replaced by Silcott Dubry, and he will play on that right-hand side. We originally thought we were going to play him on this right side, then realised that Holman was injured. But that change, Darcy, is he's not played particularly well out there. Maybe that's not his favoured position. So we've put Jones out on the right because he can play out there. And we've brought on Luca Fletcher up front. And we're nearly 87 minutes on the clock. We've made our final 3 changes. Coming off, Martin Robinson, who's not had too bad a day out there. We've replaced him with Kevin Candlish. Jake Garante comes on to give Will Armitage a little bit of a rest as he's tiring. And our final change, Charlie Stevens comes off in midfield. Gasper moves into his space, and we've brought on Harry Ransom to see the game out. Do we have a final highlight? Candlish, Braley. No, we are in the 6th minute of 6 added on. Garante got that in. Jones into the area, cross it in. Oh, and Fletcher tried to get one away. Couldn't. Gasper has picked it up, though. Gasper, he's got Candlish in support. Candlish back to Braley. Braley, Gasper. Gasper turns on it. He's hit Fletcher, but it's still alive. Dewberry, what's his face? Silcott Dewberry. Ransom, Candlish, Olsen, Candlish. All the while we've got the ball, they can't get it. Olsen over the top. It's to Peters, but it's too long. It's gone out, and it will be all over, I feel sure. Just see this. And a few chances there. Went begging. Nice ball in. Jones on it. Crossed it in, and a fine shot from Fletcher. And the goalkeeper just managing to get a boot to it. It's all over, and we have had a win at the end of the episode. Amika Peters from the penalty spot after 13 minutes. Again, not all inspiring. We've had 10 shots, 3 of them on target, 2.67. We tried all sorts to try and get past them. 64% of the possession. The XG was good against the possession. We really should have taken our chances again. And I think towards the end there, we should have at least had one goal. But it's been far better than we have done. There is another big benefit in a minute, but Wimbledon had 6 shots, 1 on target, I think at half time. So nothing in that second half, 0.32, 36% of the possession. But for me, look at that. Brad House has a 7.4. So he has taken the opportunity to get himself into the team, and he's basically tried to cement himself. I think he gets another start, that is for sure. Zane Silcott Dewberry not doing too bad as a starting point. I think all in all, Charlie Olsen having a good game in defence, Jack Holman playing well, Ethan Braley playing well in midfield, Amika Peters doing well on that right side, and James Jones actually improved once he come on. He created 3 key passes, 3 clear-cut chances towards the end of that game there, and it's done very well on that right-hand side of the attacking of the attack of the wide wingers. So all in all, I'm quite happy with that. We've got a result, and we've kept Wimbledon in their box. Always good to end the episode on a win, and also the fact that we were at home to make use of that home advantage as well. And, Wigan, they have lost for the first time. Who have they lost to? They've lost to Cheltenham by 2-1 at home as well. So, bit of a damp squib for them. So, no 100% records now at the top of the table. Just 3 points between us in 7th place and Wigan in 1st. It's still wide open, and I suppose we shouldn't be too despondent at this stage in the season. It's a bit like snakes and ladders, as I've said before. You can go up as fast as you can come back down the other way just by losing a couple of games on the trot. Accrington Stanley, a 2-2 draw against Tranmere, put them in 2nd place on 11 points. Gillingham, they have drawn with Stevenage 3-3, are in 3rd. Morecambe, who were top of the table, I think, they were one of the 2 sides with a 100% record. They've only managed a draw this time against Forest Green, 1-1 draw. They are in 4th place. And then come a bunch of teams on 9 points, Grimsby Town being one of them. Grimsby Town, a 3-3 draw. Lots of draws today against Swindon, who were near the bottom, have managed to pull themselves out at the moment. Cheltenham, as we said, getting that win against Wigan, top of the table. Good win for them. Puts them in 6th place. We are in 7th, having beaten Wimbledon by that 1-0. Harrogate Town and Wimbledon and Shrewsbury all on 8 points, just outside of the playoff places. And Northampton dropping back in to the bottom 2. Northampton today They only managed a 0-0 draw against Halifax Town, the other promoted side, of course, from the National League last season, and Crewe losing again to Bradford City, still with only 1 point on the board. Right, we're going to play a couple of games. In fact, we're going to play West Ham under-21s in the EFL Trophy Southern Section Group F, and Wickham and Doncaster offline. We're going to come back then for a home game against Bradford City, currently 15th in the table, and then the team that came up with us and caused us all sorts of problems last season, as I remember. If we have a quick look, we drew with them at the Bob Lucas, beat them at their place last season, but we meet them in the Football League for the first time, and that coming up in the next episode at the end of September. So 2 games at the end of September. Of course, the transfer window will slam shut before we get there. In fact, after the West Ham under-21s game. So we will we'll come back and bring you a roundup of anybody else that comes in due course. Well, that's a little bit better to end the episode. I don't feel quite so despondent, thankfully. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Bottom to the Top. And of course, our other series, if you've not been watching it, we've gone Dutch, and it will keep you up to date when they are released. New episodes of Bottom to the Top released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. and the best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel, everything that's going on, special videos of my 2 series, any new series, all the stuff that's going to happen with FM25. Of course, it's going to be completely different, and we'll let you know what's going on with that as we get a bit closer to the time. And you can follow me on X at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 65. It's out on Friday. Can we get ourselves in a position to be doing rather well and settle down by the time we get to the next episode? Let's hope so. Till then, bye-bye.